President Obama begins what's being called the climactic week for health care reform by making a push for the bill in Ohio. The president shot for the heart when he spoke about a cancer survivor who dropped her insurance when it got too expensive. His emotional plea may not be enough. House leaders are still trying to muster enough votes for the plan. And joining us now to discuss the latest developments on the health care bill is David Marks, senior editor at POLITICO. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
The president was in Ohio on Monday, and he was there in particular with the listening ears of one representative, Dennis Kucinich. Do you think that this kind of tactic of making these speeches in the final hour is going to be effective in swaying people like Mr. Kucinich?
This is classic presidential bully pulpit politics. Mr. Kucinich is kind of a real holdout. He's actually a critic of the health care bill from the left. He's saying it doesn't go far enough. I suspect that Speaker Nancy Pelosi would not be bringing this up for a vote if she did not think the support will be there when the vote is actually taken. But it could be a nail biter, and we might not know until the last minute.
People on the right, a lot of them opposed to this bill. On the left, though, there are some people there that are becoming upset because there's a lack of support, like with Mr. Kucinich. MoveOn.org put out an ad. Let's take a listen to that.
Ask them, which side of history will you be on? Will you side with big insurance companies, or will you vote yes on healthcare reform?
MoveOn.org. Political action is responsible.
This comes in the final hour. How good is an approach like this?
It remains to be seen. Dennis Kucinich, in this case, the congressman from Ohio, is really trying to play to his liberal base. It's essentially a scare tactic from the left. The hope is that we'll almost shame these representatives into voting for the president's plan. I'm not sure these outside groups are going to be as effective as straight presidential lobbying. He's going to have to do some arm twisting, call up these members, perhaps bring them down to the Oval Office and really do it the old-fashioned way, almost plead with them to support his program.
There was a Politico article out on Monday talking about some large potential pitfalls to the bill, including abortion, immigration, and this House-Senate distrust. Explain to us, what are the issues there and what should American people be aware of?
There's all kind of political landmines at play here. It's not clear that any of them are big enough to sink the bill, although they could be. One of them, of course, is this abortion language. There's been a lot of concern from anti-abortion Democrats over language they think would actually expand federal access and funding for abortion under the health care bill, so Democratic leaders are trying to work that out. There's also some concern from members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus that health care benefits would not be allowed to be extended to undocumented workers. That has them upset over immigration issues. Then there is the just general kind of distrust of the Senate. The way the legislative situation is now, the House is essentially forced to vote for the bill passed in the Senate and then hope that the Senate makes some fixes later on. There's no assurances that we'll do that, so it's kind of a game of political chicken at this point.
All right. David Marks, senior editor from Politico. David, as always, thanks.
Thank you.